Making life-altering decisions can be extremely daunting. Like, who makes these life-changing decisions easily? And can you? And how do you make life-altering decisions? When it comes to leaving a 9 to 5 or leaving a long-term relationship or moving abroad or moving out or things like this, there's other parts to it that have to kind of come together. And how would you make it come together when there's so many negative thoughts or possibilities that can occur in making that decision? Like, you really have to really consider other aspects, and people sometimes. So are we making the right decision, and how do you make the right decision? Follow my thought process here, because it gets a little dark. But just hold on till the end and see what the outcome might be. Maybe we're still waiting, but thanks for joining me on this video, and we'll see what happens. Okay. This morning I woke up early and I'm thinking to myself, I really don't like myself. I don't trust myself. I don't believe in myself. Do I even know myself? And this thought came across because I'm trying to make decisions in my life. So just to go backwards a little bit. 3 years, we can start 3 years ago, prior to the panty. I was making a decision for my life, trying to see what exactly that I wanted out of life. And coming from living overseas and traveling the world, I've grown to love and obsess over that lifestyle that I had, and wanting to go back to part of it. Part of it meaning that I didn't have to work for someone, but I can have that lifestyle. Of course, how unrealistic is that, right? Because only people that have that kind of lifestyle are people that are rich, right? The people that kids that have trust funds, people that have trust funds can afford to have that life of freedom and liberty. But I got a taste of it, and just that taste really has caused major problems. And because I aspire to want to have that life again. Now, I had it in a pseudo way, because living overseas, I had to work, of course. But where I was working afforded me that lifestyle because I didn't have the responsibility of paying for housing. So I was able to save and utilize my money to do the things that I love to do, which was amazing. But you say, well, then why don't you just go back and work? Well, I've grown to have somewhat of PTSD with the job that I was doing. I didn't like the job anyway, even going there. I had decided to exit the field and not do that. And my goal was to travel the world. But this opportunity came into play to do exactly what I didn't want to do overseas. But it afforded me a lifestyle and experience that was unmatched. So therefore, I did it, and didn't enjoy that aspect of it. but I did it because, and stayed with it because of the benefits outweighed the the negative about the career. But fast forward a little bit now, almost 7 years out, 3 years ago when we were going through that, I really had that desire, and I'm like, okay, well, if that's the lifestyle that I want, then I should go on ahead and create that lifestyle, So find something that I can do that I don't mind doing abroad. And mind you, I was heavy focused. Now, let me play back a little bit. When I got back here, a year later, I got my real estate because I was doing my business. But what I didn't know about real estate, that at the time, I didn't cultivate that aspect of my being, was the sales and being out there and being people friendly, and that just wasn't me. So I didn't do well in that, but I still kept the license. But so I thought to myself, well, okay, well, I need to get into a career that will pay me well to be able to live this lifestyle that I want. So I, 3 years ago, doing the panning, went out to do everything that I could, get all the certificates that I could, and all these careers that they say, oh, it's a needed career field, it's a needed path. You get a job right away, and you'll pay more money. So I set out to do that, and got all the training, certificates, and everything, and nothing came of it. To the point where there was one sale that I made in real estate that really allowed me some time. So I decided not to go back to doing what I was doing and focus mainly on getting training to be able to do something that was so-called needed in the workforce. Well, come to find out, it wasn't needed, because no matter how many certificates I received and all the job applications I put out, there was no success. So, which left me drowning, really. And so that's the decision I made. So I had to make the decision to go back to what I didn't want to do, into the 9 to 5. I loved my life. I loved the life that I was living, where I didn't have to do the 9 to 5, and I was just exploring and creating and learning. So now I'm forced to go back to this job that I really have no passion for, and so I did, and I felt, still do, like a failure. Like everything I set to do, I put my mind to do, and I worked really hard to do, nothing came of it. Even down to my weight physically. I don't know how many times I changed my diet. I exercised. I did all of this, and nothing. As a matter of fact, the opposite happened. I put on weight. So now I find myself in this really awful predicament that I feel trapped, to the point where it's like, okay, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna sell my place. I tried selling the place. I would put it on, take it off, and I kid you not, I feel schizophrenic. I feel bipolar. I literally feel like, okay, I'm losing it, because I cannot exaggerate to you. I'm not even exaggerating, let me say that. How many times I put my property on and off the market? As a realtor, I can't. No less than 10 times. I kid you not. I'm feeling dizzy. I'm feeling like, okay, I need to check myself in, because I'm losing it. Well, this is my ordeal, and now I find myself in a place that every decision I make, everything that I do, I question myself. Should I do this? Should I do this? I'm in a whirlwind. I know what I want to do, but it's not logical to do. It doesn't make sense to do. And I'm not one to be very logical and sensible too, because when I went away to live overseas, I wasn't thinking. I just like, I am gonna do it. I don't care. I'm selling everything, and I'm just gonna go travel. I didn't have a plan, but something came up, and I want to believe that I can do that again, but I don't, because those couple of years of turmoil, I was drowning, and no one came to help me. No one came to help me. I was drowning, and it was of my own making, of course. But I thought if I stepped out and I did this, that of course, similar to earlier, me going abroad, that something will come up. And no, I find myself going back, and that's the decision I made. I guess that's the wrong decision I made. Anyway, I question myself now. I don't have the confidence in myself and the ability to do anything. I can't lose weight. I can't, change careers, and I can't sell. There's nothing I can do right. And this is the feeling that I have. This is the feeling that I have, and now I put myself in a place even worse, because I'm stuck on this job where it's soulless, where it's just sucking the blood life out of me. And I want to do something different. I want to let it go, but financially, I'm not in the position to do so. That's so unrealistic. That's so irresponsible of me, right? To just leave the job, and I know financially I need it. At the time when I left everything and sold everything, I had savings. I had something I wasn't in debt. But now, I just going deeper and deeper and sinking into a quicksand that I can't seem to get myself out of. I do feel stuck. I do feel, how do I change this? How do I get out of this catch-22, how do I do it? Because it just doesn't work for me. I keep putting on weight. I'm not happy. I'm confused all the time. I'm borderline depressed. Because there's something that I want that I can't get to. And the thing is like, I love my place. I'm grateful. I love my place. That's why it's been so hard for me to decide to let it go, because I kind of want to keep it, but I want money. So that's why I would, sell or rent. But if things were to work out the way I wanted it to, I would have this place, because originally what I was going to do was I brought this place so that I can have like a place to come to when I come from living abroad, or to even start renting, which, okay, that's the other option too, that I brought this place. But I'm so conflicted with myself. And two, I realized too, when I was doing all that planning and educating myself and trying to change careers, that no, I don't want to change career. I don't want to go on a job anymore. I don't want to be on a 9-to-5. I thought I wanted to be on a 9-to-5, which is why I got back into the career that I was doing, because at least that was secure. At least I had some money coming in. And I thought, my reasoning was very logical, was okay, get into the field. You do have some holiday times, you do have some vacation times. You'll make a decent money and salary. You have all your health care. You're not going to be in severe want and need and struggling. Okay, get back in. So my thought was, okay, I'm going to get paid a decent salary. I can save up. I can do exactly what I want to do. I can go abroad for months' time. But guess what? I get the job. And by the way, it was the dream job that I've always wanted. And they don't pay. They changed their payment structure, salary structure, to state that anybody who's coming in basically gets lowballed, basically gets the base salary, no matter how many years of experience. So, mind you, I didn't know that when I accepted the job. I thought that it was supposed to be, how it was before. So I'm stuck now on this job that barely pays the bills. And have put myself in a real financial hole. So now I feel stuck. Now I feel like, okay, I want to make decisions, but the decisions that I have made thus far have gotten me in a wreck. Insolvent, financially depleted. So I don't trust now the decisions that I'm making for my life. So I'm having to deal with this job and these people. And you're trying to stay focused, but no matter what you do, focusing on yourself, there's always somebody that's going to hate. There's always somebody that's going to feel like you're doing, and it's this 9 to 5, this working with people, and this whole, I don't like it. So I have the opportunity now to really go back and to do real estate and insurance, because I did get my, and all those certificates I got, insurance. And I really want to do that. But the thing about it is, like sales, it takes a little time to get going. And it takes the hours that I'm at work to do it. I can maneuver to try to do something back on at the end, but I get out too late to really work on what I need to do. And I don't have time during the school, and I say school because I'm in education, during the school hours. So, which requires that if I really, really want to do this, I really need to resign to do this job. People are trying to do, and I'm so insecure now about the decisions I'm making. I try to talk to people and to see what they think of what should I do. And of course people are like, no, don't leave your job, don't, what am I expecting that they, everybody is operating from the state point of need and fear and working. What would I expect other people to do? This is a risk that I would take myself. Well, because I doubt myself. I wouldn't be, prior to this, I would not have asked anybody. I would just do it. But because now I question every step that I take, I ask around, and of course, what am I going to get? People who validate the fact that I should stay on the job. But with every part of my body, I guess not every part, because I wouldn't be questioning. I want to leave this job, but I need it. I need it financially for a couple of weeks. Well, what's wrong with staying on there for a couple of weeks? It is painful. It's painful. And I guess I have to. I guess I need to. But it's painful. And so, but I bring this topic up also Because just in light of dealing with people on the job and just dealing with people in general, I feel that I abase myself. Like, and you have to, I guess, because there's hierarchies. You have your boss, you have your manager, and there's certain ways that you have to entreat them and speak to them. But then it's good if you have reasonable people to work with. But if you don't have reasonable people to work with that don't see your train of thought, that don't follow you, or have different agendas behind what they do, we just have to make decisions, right? We just have to make decisions that are beneficial to ourselves, and that's what I have to remember. You can't change anyone. You can't change people's thoughts of you, what they think of you, but you just do what you do, and then make decisions to realize, okay, this is not a good fit, and then do something different. And I think that's where I am, for sure. I guess, the art of failing, there's an art to failure. And I look at it as failure because I didn't achieve the goal that I wanted to achieve. But the art of failing, there is an art to it, for sure. It's a decision you make, you see that it's not going right, and then you pivot. That's the part that's okay. The part that has me ruminating is the time and money that, particularly money, especially when you don't have it, that plays against the benefits of learning through failure. You know what I mean? I guess it definitely that's the hard part of failure. That's the hard part. Is, okay, I can understand, hey, everyone fails and you learn from it and you move on. The price of failing is hard. The time and the money that is spent figuring it out, trying stuff, is the hard part. And I'm in a place right now where I can make this decision to leave this job. Will I be successful in my endeavors? I just look at myself and I wonder, well, as my character, I would have to change, of course, how I do things and how I think and I'm welcoming that, to do this new, to be in sales and to, because I consider myself an introvert. And in sales, you have to really change and be extroverted. You have to be out there. You have to put yourself out there. You have to really be proactive and really be initiating and be okay with rejection. And not more so than that, be okay with not having consistency financially. Because on the job, whilst you're on the job, you know that, okay, you have a paycheck coming in, there's a return on investment immediately, and that is not so-called guaranteed, but it's a knowing that that I'm going to get paid for this. However, when you do your own business, it's a hit or miss sometimes. It's like, it's based upon your own efforts. And I have to be honest with myself and then see, am I willing to really put in the work that is required in order to to make it. And if I'm willing to use the time wisely in order to achieve, those goals. So, yeah, so this is something for sure that I have to be honest with myself in. And and when I look at it, I'm like, I'm looking forward to it. But I have to say that the fear is, it's not about the change of me personally getting, but I think it's the doubt of, wait a minute, I need to pay bills, and I need money coming in so I don't feel hungry. I'm not in a state of mind of desperateness or need. They say the best way to go shopping is to go shopping when your stomach is full. You don't want to go grocery shopping when you're hungry, because you tend to eat everything and spend more. You don't want to be changing careers hungry. You know what I mean? And so that's my dilemma. My dilemma is, do I leave this job and go full out into this business, will I be able to mentally absorb the not having the consistency of a paycheck? And that's the part that I doubt myself greatly, because I didn't like the experience of when will I make money? Will I make enough money to pay the bills? I'm so behind. I'm in debt right now, and I don't like that. I don't like that. So I want to be financially secure to do these things, but some people say, well, why don't you can still work and then do that part-time. I thought so too, but the hours that I work are the major hours that I need to be working on the business. And I can do it part-time if I have another part-time. You understand what I mean? That doesn't conflict with the hours that I need. So I do have a 2-night part-time, but what I think I need is to get another part-time job that doesn't conflict with the hours where I need to be working. So stay tuned. I will follow up with you on what I decide to do. I'm looking forward to just seeing what I'm deciding to do. But I know what I'm leaning towards. It's just that I'm trying to build up the courage to do it. I can't think logically on some things. Sometimes you can't go by logic. You can't go by what is expected, and yeah, this makes sense to do, because it's not ever going to make sense. Like you leaving a job that's paying you a check and you needing money and to go into a business that you don't, it doesn't make sense. And I'm scared for me, and I wonder if I'm making the right decision. So let's stay tuned and see what happens, shall we? Even with me, I'm thinking, okay, what am I gonna do? What am I doing? What am I gonna do? So I want to see how this develops myself. I want to see if I build up the courage to do exactly what I want to do. So stay tuned. This is going to be interesting. So making decisions. What does it all entail? Today I went out and I went shopping, grocery shopping, and I went to a store and I was looking around for some clothes. And as I went grocery shopping, I had to make selections. Everywhere you go, every day of the week is a decision. Every day of the week is a decision to live, to wake up. It's a decision to do what we do every day. Why do we make that decision? And I think that with decision making, it's all about how much and what exactly we prioritize and what is our goal for each and every day. When we set our intentions, it's about setting intentions for the day. And when we set our intentions, we achieve that goal. But first, we must have an intention. For example, I must ask myself, well, what do I like? When I was in the store, what did I want? That's the primary question. What is it that we want? What do I want?
What do you want? What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want?
What do you want? And I have to stop and I have to ask myself, well, what exactly do I want to eat this week? What am I feeling for? Is it spicy? Is it Italian? Is it Mexican? What exactly do I want? And once we first really narrow down our selections and ask ourselves what it is that we want, even prior to making a selection, knowing exactly what you want before going in the store gives you focus, and it helps you to eliminate those other things, distractions. So primarily, we have to know what we want. After we know what we want, we then have to really specialize or be specific as to exactly what we want, because there's two type of bulgogis in the supermarket. Now, to really be specific as to what I want, I have to then judge, okay, what is the amount that I was going for? What's my budget? And will I be okay with just spending more or not? So does this go over my budget? And so I had to now specify even more. Okay, I want this type of meat, but then can I downgrade and get a different type of meat due to my budget? So that then specifies the selection even further. Okay, well, I can have it spicy or I can have it with vegetables. Now what is the value that I'm looking for? Is the value that I'm looking for about health and getting more fiber? Then I can specialize and be specific as to even further narrowing that down. Yes, I want the one with the vegetables because I could use a little bit more fiber in my diet. So now I can make that selection, and then I can make a selection based upon the brand. Okay, maybe this brand has a little bit more ingredients that are more natural. I value that. So knowing our value system when we make selections, when we make a decision, is very important. So now you're basically down to, okay, these two brands offer the same value. These two brands offer the same price. These two brands offer the same ingredients. Which do I like better? Oh, I think the design on this box is better, so I'll choose this. You see? So sometimes the choices in our lives can be equally just as beneficial to us. And so we just choose, we just make a decision. We make a decision and we move on. Those choices, those types of elimination process. So decision making is not about making a choice, but rather eliminating the choices that we have, narrowing down to the base level. Let's eliminate as much as possible so that we can narrow down to maybe two. So I know decision making can be rather difficult, especially when our hearts are tied into the results. And then on a more deeper esoteric level, sometimes after we've done all of that, sometimes it's best to just give it up. What I mean, the old people used to say, let go and let God. Sometimes it comes down to when your mind and heart and emotions are too tied up into an event and to a result. Things just keep spiraling and you're not getting and achieving the goal. You just got to give it up. You got to turn it over to your soul, and through prayer, meditation, however you interpret what I'm saying, and just let go. And just let go and allow the universe, source energy to just kind of guide us into the decision that we feel incapable of making. Do I get that? So in this process of making this decision about whether I will leave my job or not, it's not whether I will, it's when. Because that's a definite for me. Now I am waiting, or I'm making a decision to know the best timing for me. It's not if, it's definitely when. So anyway, I thank you for joining me in this process of mind. As you know, my channel is about showing the reality of what we all go through, whether the gurus like to show you that or not, or tell you that or not. I'm showing you, you're hearing my process as I evolve, as I create her. So thank you for joining. Share, comment. Your comments do help. Again, this is a new channel, and so you commenting really does help. The algorithm, as they say, give the like. But thank you for joining me. Hey, tell somebody about it. Maybe they'll be interested. Anyway, thanks again, and peace. Be still. Bye.
There's another way to make a decision, which is not in your head, but it's in your heart. And there's a quote which is, you can't solve the problems of the mind with the mind. Your answer is most likely in your heart. So the way to make that decision is to really silence your mind